What's up? Welcome back to the Metalhead Car Show. So a while ago, I did a video that upset a lot of Jaguar fans for the reasoning of I pronounce it as Jaguar. But we were talking about the extremely controversial Type 00. When the Type 00 was announced, it was announced with a truly terrible commercial and a new logo that looks like it could have been from a vape company. But when the car was shown off, it got a very similar reaction. A lot of people refer to it as a Cybertruck sedan, or just said it looks like a very large air conditioner. But as time's went on, as we've just got to sit on this for a while, I think whatever they put out, we're actually gonna wish it looked like the concept car.
What?
Now, all things considered, that's going to sound like an insane sentence, but hear me out. Now, I was talking to one of my friends about the Type 00 today. One of the things I was kind of curious about was its size. Because we did see that one blue Type 00 that was in Paris that was kind of there to be shown off. My big takeaway from this was it was actually wider than the street it was on. Which means two things. One, she thick as fuck. And the second one being that what we see as the concept car for the Type 00 is absolutely never going to be on the road.
Well, duh.
I went and looked up the actual width of the new Jag, and it is 98 inches wide. Context, a F-150, Dodge Ram, Silverado, Cybertruck, Toyota Tundra are all 79.9 inches wide. Once you go past that, it's a different classification of car. You need to put different lighting in it, which is why you see the additional orange lights in like the Ford Raptor and the Dodge Ram TRX. But when it's a concept car, it kind of doesn't matter. But still, 98 inches wide. Your average city bus is like 102 inches wide. As just some context for how big this thing is. And obviously, that's not what's coming out in production. See, Jag is actually working on this, and what we're seeing is the Type 00 out on like the streets of France isn't what we're getting. What we're getting is more likely going to be this. Now, yes, these are just mule cars, but it is a bit more production looking. Now, looking at the side profile of the new Jag, this is likely going to be a sedan version of the Type 00, which could very well end up being just the sedan and we don't get the coupe. Which, offering a hatchback sedan, is going to be way more profitable than doing just a coupe. But if Jag really wanted to make money, they would just do a new crossover. Make a new crossover, make it really good, it'll sell well. But for now, it looks like we're getting this sedan. The first really big difference with the sedan that I'm seeing is that rear end. As we look at the coupe, the roof pretty much goes right down to the very end of the trunk lid, as when this actually stops and you see you do have a little bit of trunk lid. And the hood still looks very long, but it doesn't look quite as long as the prototype. Along with that, the roof line's way higher, we have way more glass, which no shit. And the proportions look more like a real car. Despite, I do gotta mention, those wheels look massive on the prototype. The other big thing is this looks way more narrow. Which again, the prototype is 98 inches wide. This has to be more narrow. But that does also mean the proportions that were on the prototype will not be used on the road car. Now, for some people, that's going to be amazing because a lot of people did not like the prototype. But also, I fear the road car is going to end up looking boring. See, my original theory was the coupe was going to be what they were going to bring out of production. The plan would be to make way less of them, but also charge way more as more like Rolls-Royce Wraith competition, which would also mean massive layoffs within Jag. But it would also mean they have way less people to pay, way less properties to pay, and they might actually make money. But it does look like they're going with the sedan, which is technically more profitable. My issue with the sedan is a lot of the things that made the concept car unique, which not a lot of people loved, aren't going to be used. The butterfly doors aren't going to be used. The rear and front grills aren't going to be used, which again, a lot of people are going to love the fact that that won't be there. But also, it's going to look like every other car. Let's be real. And if they're making a sedan, maybe a coupe, these things are probably going to be priced reasonably, which means I think Jag's in trouble. I mean, they've been in trouble, but we're talking about the future. I think Jag is going to have a hard time pushing this, considering the fact that a lot of companies, a lot of their competition is shying away from EVs right now and going back to, or just sticking with, internal combustion engines. EVs are showing wild depreciation over 2 or 3 years of ownership, and for a car that's going to be expensive, maybe not the 300 or 400 grand I kind of had in my mind originally, say, be Rolls-Royce competition, but a car that's still going to be expensive, and a brand that's struggling to keep people in, a guarantee of wild depreciation isn't what you want. While thinking about this video last night, the one thing I kind of pondered on was, what if you got one of the old Jag 5 liters and put it in the coupe concept car? That's a villain car. That is a silly movie villain car right there. So I don't want this video to be super long, but kind of my thoughts towards this is, I think Jag's going to be in trouble making this thing a bit more realistic. As what if they kept both staff and numbers really low, then pushing this as the extremely over-the-top and extremely flamboyant coupe that they were showing at first may have actually worked. I know not a lot of people were into this. I know I was not into this car when it first came out, but it has grown on me a little bit, and I do want to see Jag succeed. But time will tell. But as for now, I want to know, what do you think? Seeing that the Type 00 road car is looking a bit more realistic and way less flamboyant than what we saw from the concept car, do you think it'll work? And do you kind of agree with me saying that seeing the road car is a bit more, well, a lot more restrained, do you kind of miss the concept car now? Let me know in the comments. Thank you all so much for watching. Like, subscribe, enjoy the view seen. I did post a couple times a week, and I'll see you later.